Up in the ring, Boyd Pierce is ready to introduce this event to you, so let's pick him up.
Your next event, one fall, 15-minute time limit. In the red corner, James J. Dillon proudly presents at 300 pounds, the world's strongest human, Ken Patera. And across the ring from Singapore, in the blue corner, 270 pounds, the spoiler, your referee, Bronco Lubitsch.
Ken Patera, the world's strongest man, and a man who is capable of some tremendous feats of power, and he is in this battle up against a man who has at least one feat of power that he can call on to be a great equalizer, and that is the claw hold that he uses. So Ken Patera, managed by James J. Dillon. And James J. Dillon is particularly conscious of the great reputation of this man, Patera. Patera is the first man in this country's weightlifting circles to lift 500 pounds over his head. He is a man who has competed in various contests of power and come out ahead, but it has been in wrestling that he has really found himself. He has a brother who coaches football, coaches the Seattle Seahawks, and is rated as a pretty good coach. And he has another brother who is a professional football player, but he chose the world of power, and he also picked wrestling because he felt that that fit his temperament. So Patera now matches up against the spoiler. Now the spoiler doesn't always have fans solidly behind him, but I've rarely met a fan who didn't have a great deal of respect for the spoiler's ability in that ring. And this goes for people all over the wrestling world. And our fans here in Houston echo the fans in a great many other communities. Side headlock for the spoiler. Doing the crowding is Patera. There's Dillon poking his way into the picture and trying to give instructions, and it's Patera who reverses the picture now and comes up with the side headlock. We have a massive crowd here at the Sam Houston Coliseum tonight, and this match is the featured special event of a great card. Of course, the time limit is announced by Boyd Pierce is one fall or 15 minutes, whichever comes first. Spoiler now, as he starts to use that elbow, finds fans becoming just a bit more vocal in their appreciation of him. Patera doing the crowding, and he's got a solid arm. When he hits you with a forearm, you feel it. Whoa! And he hit an immovable object that time, and I don't care how strong you are, when that happens, you are in trouble. And the rope climbing spoiler, who could pass for the Spider-Man under some circumstances, he likes to get up in the air, he likes to go through the air and come down from above and drive that forearm of his into his opponent's head. He's big enough to do it under ordinary circumstances, but he figures that the advantage he gains from climbing in the corner or in walking those ropes is well worth the risk he takes. Patera maneuvering around, looking as though he's not being given a fair chance to get back in the ring. He wears the Olympic emblem on his wrestling garment. He earned it. He represented this country. He took a bronze medal when he injured a knee and was unable to continue, but he was leading at the time that he injured his knee. Armbar. Patera holding the grip. And there's that nice move that the spoiler makes. He twists, he does a nip up, he manages that drop kick beautifully, and spoiler's ready. And spoiler now, in just a few short moments, has these fans rooting for him. Patera sticking close to those ropes. He wants the referee to break this hold, but in the meantime, he's getting punished. The referee could disqualify spoiler. You saw that count. If it had gone to 5, that would have meant disqualification. So the world's strongest man right now doesn't feel like the world's strongest man. It's a big foot right across his throat. It's a big foot slamming into his head too. He's having his problems. The spoiler doesn't want to give him any respite. He wants to capitalize on the punishment he's already managed to get to hand out. 5 minutes have gone by. 10 minutes remain in this match as Patera comes head first into the spoiler to then knock him back into the turnbuckle where he can work on him. Reverse chinlock. Spoiler caught in it. And he says he's going to twist his pencil neck. That, of course, in wrestling is the ultimate insult, to call somebody a pencil neck when wrestling is supposed to build big, strong necks on people. The pencil neck is looked on as a non-athlete. Patera has a loud voice. Patera fights back at these fans. When somebody says something that irritates him, he lets them know it. So spoiler, trying now to maneuver into space that will suit his way of wrestling, but right now he can't move. That hold is working on the side of his head, and the pressure being put on by Patera is slowing the big fellow down. You can see how big the spoiler is, because even on his knees, he comes up to Patera's shoulder. Patera is not a short man. He's well proportioned and powerful all the way through. And Patera hangs on, grim death itself, as he pours it to the spoiler. Spoiler's fans are screaming for him to come up and equalize things with the powerful super heavyweight. I was just watching Spoiler closely to see what kind of hold he was maneuvering toward, and that battering ram he was throwing, if he had been able to deliver a few more, or if he had delivered against a man of lesser muscle, would most certainly have been a potent weapon. Spoiler's looking for the referee now to break it, and Patera realized that, so he went into a different style of attack, and he has him down to where it can do some more damage. There he is again, crowding him and dropping in there with that knee, as though he was going to garrote him and just cut his head right off. And he's attacking in exactly the same area. Spoiler. Coming down again, and a blasting wallop. He did that almost with sheer weight and the fact that he was dropping from up above. And this boy Patera is crawling in to do damage. He doesn't want Spoiler to have enough time to recover from it, but I think now Spoiler has recovered his equilibrium, and he went for the claw hold, and you saw Patera go for the ropes. So strongman Patera knows when to dodge the issue. And that was as good a time as any.
Minutes.
10 minutes have gone by. 5 minutes remain in this match. Patera has done a lot of damage with the forearm and the fist, and that time Spoiler did an awful lot of retaliation or damage in retaliatory damage. I'll find the word somewhere. But he just hurt him just as much as he had been hurt with that one foot well placed. And Dillon is trying to, and we could have Spoiler leaping off that top rope, and oh, how he is laying in there with those tremendous clouts. And listen to those fans here as they roar their approval of the Spoiler's attack. Lubitsch starting a count. He'll have 5 to break it. But Spoiler was not really content. He'd like to get his hands on Dillon. And he was offering an opening, but it was obviously baited, and the bait was accepted by Ken Patera. He's got the claw hold on him. Right smack on there. That brain claw that he uses so well, and right now, it doesn't matter who is the strongest man in the world, because Patera can't grow enough muscle between his ears to fight off the numbing effect of the claw hold. Spoiler knows it, and Patera is being set up. Whoops.
Only 3 minutes. Time remaining. 3 minutes.
3 minutes remaining as Patera, right here in front of us, comes up there with a, no, he didn't come up with a foot. It was James J. Dillon who managed to distract the Spoiler by jerking a foot, and Dillon's having his trouble. But notice how distraction becomes the greatest weapon that Dillon could possibly offer. Spoiler, foot across his throat. Finally, the referee was able to prevail on Patera to release it, and Patera this time came down, dropping that foot right in the midsection of the man with a mask.
Only 2 minutes.
There are 2 minutes remaining in this 15-minute match. as Ken Patera tries to set up the spoiler, and he got this claw. He came in there to drive in and to grab him by the head. And this crowd just comes up with a tremendous roar as Patera is caught in a weapon where strength is not going to be so important. He's got the fight loose from this. He might be able to use that power in his arms to tear it loose, but not in the way he's going. And the longer it's held, the less likelihood there is that Ken Patera will be able to rip it loose. Outside, that was Jim Dillon again who distracted the spoiler, and there goes Dillon getting his lumps. So with time running out, we've got 1 minute to go, and Patera and Dillon are blasted together. Spoiler wants him back in the ring where he can pin him, and you see him working on him to get him there. High up there and perched and ready. Spoiler. He didn't get his elbow running, but he sure threw that fist in there, and this could be it. Spoiler on top, trying to go for the pin. Patera underneath, and Patera has enough power to jerk out of trouble. He's still got time for a pin. There's one. There is Dillon trying to call attention to the fact and to delay the referee's count, which he actually did. There is the bell. The time has run out in this match. So a 15-minute draw, and Ken Patera and Jim Dillon are outside the ring as the referee gives his verdict. Well, Dillon's back in, much to his surprise. He found himself in there alone with the spoiler. So the referee's verdict is a draw. The spoiler is coming in with a chair, and I don't think he intends to sit on it. But Patera could lose this decision, even though the referee's draw will still stand. We'll be back in a moment. Right now, let's have this word from the studio.